right, Miss Kassidy Hammer, welcome to the show. Welcome to this big old house of mine.
Glad to be here.
How are you?
I'm fantastic.
Are we making you rich today? Or have we been making you rich this entire time? Or what's up?
Yes, absolutely. Definitely much richer than when I first met you. Pretty much gave you my last dime.
Oh, shit. All right, so can you just tell everyone watching why I'm so fucking awesome? And so why I'm like the craziest, best man you've ever met to just change your life in a financial way.
Yeah. Let me hype you up. You don't have to hype yourself up.
Oh, okay.
As much as I hate to admit that you're right about things, you're right about everything when it comes to content. So I came to you because I was trying to grow my online fitness coaching business for like 2 years and was failing miserably. I had invested in other mentors who were helping me grow my business, and they pretty much got me to the point where I had a business, but I did not have a business that was making me money. So when I came to Aayush, I was pretty much broke, nowhere left to turn, to the point where I was like, if I don't start making money, then I have to change my career because like there's just no other option. And honestly, had no intention of hiring him. You had a live call. Remember that like big like live call that you did? And pretty sure the title of the call was "This is why your content fucking sucks" or something like that. Yeah. And I watched this live call. Again, had no intention of hiring him. I was just like, the classic brokey that was like, I want all of the free stuff I possibly can. So I came to this live call, was soaking it up, taking notes, yada, yada. And then he DMs me on Instagram like the next day and was like, so how'd you like the call? And of course, I sell in the DMs. And so I'm like, I know what this guy's doing. Like, he's not getting my money. Like,
this is ironic.
All right. Well, I thought. And so whatever, we talk in the DMs a little bit, and finally I agreed to just hop on a one-on-one call with him, but still in the mindset of like, I'll talk to this guy. Like, he's not getting my credit card. Like, I've invested in enough mentors, business coaches, yada, yada, who it just hasn't been worth the investment, that I was like, I'm not giving this guy my credit card under any circumstance. Yeah, shut up. So we get on this one-on-one call, and essentially I just come to realize that content is way more important than I think it is. And by the end of the call, we got to this point where I was like, I'm spending as much money on ads monthly as it would be to just pay you. And so I kind of sat there for a second and I was like, well, I can either keep doing what I'm doing, keep spending the money on ads that are not working. And, I'm always thinking like the definition of insanity is continuing to do the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. And so I was like, I can either literally be insane and do that, or I can just stop running ads and take that same amount of money that I'm already spending and put it into this dude and see what happens. Obviously, we know which choice I made because I'm here. So I invested in Aayush, and literally life absolutely changed. We're not even 4 months later, like 3.5 months later.
More like 2 months.
More like, yeah. So
2 months because you took a month off.
Because I took a month off. We're not going to talk about that.
Oh, no, we have to. We have to talk about how you took a month off because you just lost your shit of like, this isn't working. I'm going to take a fucking time out. 1 month later, where you at, bitch?
Okay. So to give more detail to that part of the story, started working with Aayush, and I'm not going to lie, this content stuff is not easy, right? Especially because I was in a position before where I genuinely did not understand how important it was, so I was not doing it. And then I start working with Aayush, and he's like, okay, we got to do this, this, this. And I was just like, wow, this is a lot of content stuff to do that I've never really focused on before. I've never really done it before. And so I'm doing all of these things for, a month and a half. And mental breakdown era starts to kick in where I'm like, why is nothing working? Why am I not viral? Why do I not have more money? Blah, blah, blah. Which, by the way, I'm sure you remember this too, that the mental breakdown was literally completely unwarranted because do you remember in my first 4 weeks with you, I signed 11 new clients. And I hadn't.
Yeah, it's like you're freaking out on a mental crisis on something where you already saw results and your shit was still flopping.
So, but like, I feel like my mental breakdown was because I was doing all of this content work and my content still, like, I wasn't getting views. I wasn't going viral. I wasn't gaining followers, but all of those 11 people I signed in my first 4 weeks were actually old prospects who I had not closed on previous calls that then once I started posting content that Aayush was telling me to post, they came back to me, literally slid into my DMs, texted me, called me, and were like, hey, actually, I want to sign up now. So that was insane and just goes to prove like how terrible my content was before. But anyway, a month and a half in, despite getting those 11 new clients, I was like having a mental breakdown that I was like, I'm doing so much work on content and like nobody's watching it. Nobody's watching the content that I'm putting so much work into. So kind of fell off the face of the planet. Took like a month leave of absence, we'll call it. And in the meantime, of course, Aayush just texted me and he was like, what the heck are you doing? Where are you? Why aren't we posting? What's going on? How can I help? How can I help? Like, and that's where like, you were very good in the sense of like, you're very different from every other business coach I've ever had. And of course, I know you're not a business coach. You're a content coach, whatever. But he is very different in the sense of, I had a lot of other mentors and business coaches who were not quite as good at holding me accountable and like genuinely being the pain in the ass that I needed to work and to do things. Whereas he is always very much so like, why are we not doing the things that we need to be doing? How can I help you make sure that we're doing the things that we need to be doing? But essentially during this month period of me taking time off, I just texted him and I was like, listen, don't worry. Like, I know myself. I'll get back to it. I just like need to chill the fuck out for a second. I was like, I literally just need to like chill the fuck out. And he was like, okay, I'm here when you need me. Like, just, make sure we're getting back on it. He's like, I'm not going to not let you get back on it. And I was like, that's fine, whatever. So we come back a month later and pretty much 4 or 5 days into posting content again, boom, my first viral video hits. So that was pretty insane. And ever since then, it's been like a snowball of insanity in a good way.
Yeah, basically to go from broke to now 10K a month.
Yeah. I mean, so I had that first video go viral and literally just woke up one morning, like had 5K followers, woke up with 10K followers. And I was like, oh, that's cool. Like, this is kind of crazy. And so we were talking about it, like we were celebrating. I remember because we were together in Texas, like when this happened. And so within like a couple days, literally 48 hours, I gained 10K followers. So he took me out as a reward to go get cookies because he was like, oh my gosh, you hit 15K followers. And then it was crazy to see that now, when was that trip? 3 weeks ago?
That was 3 weeks ago.
That trip was 3 weeks ago. We were celebrating 15K followers. And now I'm at 175K followers.
Probably by the time this video comes out, though.
I'll be over 200.
Yeah.
So it's just crazy to see how exponentially the following has grown. And with it, how my clientele has grown and how my bank account has grown. Because I think one thing that he taught me was followers does not equal dollars. And I think so many people come to him, and even I came to him like, yes, I wanted my business to grow. Yes, I wanted my bank account to grow. But I was like, I thought that in order for that to happen, I had to go viral. I had to have the followers. And first of all, like I said, we already proved in the first month with me not having a single viral video, me not having any more followers, that I grew my clientele, I grew my business. But now that I'm actually posting valuable content, it is so much easier for me to convert the followers into dollars, into clients, because they're literally coming to me being like they're coming to me in my DMs saying, oh my gosh, this video you posted was so helpful. Like I was using it in the gym. Like, can you help me with more stuff like this? Or people coming to me and just being like, your content is so useful. Like, can you coach me? And I'm like, absolutely. Like, let's go. Like, so it's just such a difference. I spent so long just posting B-roll of my ass and being like, this is my transformation. Like, I used to be flat and now I'm not. Pay me and I'll help you do the same thing. And I think like, you know, I could get a lot of views on those videos. I could get like some followers from those videos, but they were not people who took me seriously. They were not people who wanted to pay me for my services. They were just people who were like,
And some couple dudes that want to get in your pants.
and too many dudes who wanted to get in my pants. So thank goodness we've strayed from that kind of content. But it's just crazy to see, like, now that I actually put out value, literally so many women who I hop on a call with them and I ask them, like, why me? Why am I the fitness coach that you came to? Why did you feel comfortable getting on a call with me? And all of them across the board are like, you actually provide like value. You show science, you show research, like you just obviously know what you're talking about versus every other girl on Instagram. And no hate, because I used to do this, but just posting a before and after of your ass and then expecting people to think that you have authority. Like,
the only thing we need to hoe around here are some client wins. No hoeing around, you fucking ding dongs.
Right.
I said ding dong, LOL.
Yeah, we don't have those to sling around anyway.
That came out really weird. Let me rewind that. We're keeping this in the video. No need to hoe around your badonkadonk.
There we go.
That's what I was trying to say.
Yeah.
We just need to hoe around these client wins.
Exactly. But seriously, I've had so many people come to me because now I actually have authority in my content. And so, honest and truly, when I came to you, I had zero. This was the most maybe embarrassing moment of my life when I first signed up with him and he asked me, he was like, what is your recurring revenue at? And I said $0. $0 recurring revenue. And now we have literally, well, I don't know how you can 10x zero, but
you don't. We did though. Somehow. And I even a business coach.
Literally. So, and that's the thing too. He always hates that I call him a business coach, but I'm a content coach. Yeah, I get that that's what you are and that's what you focus on. But number one, you've given me some of the best business advice I have ever received in my life that I will take with me to the grave. And number two, you start to realize that content is your business and you will not have a business without good content. Like I said before, I had a business. Can I even call it a business if I was making $0 a month? Probably not.
No.
It was just a thing that I was doing.
You had a hobby.
I had a hobby. Oh God. That's awful. Like I had a hobby and he turned it into a business for me. That's literally just generating like more than I ever could have imagined and then projecting more money than I could ever even imagine. Like when I was talking to my accountant last week, he was like, okay, like how much money do you predict to make by the end of the year? And I was like, if you would have asked me that question 2 months ago, my answer would have been like, maybe I'll make 10K.
No, you came to me for 5K a month.
I
You said your goal was 5K a month.
literally, but I'm like, when he was asking me like, how much do you project to make over the rest of the year, over the next few months? I was like, maybe within the next few months, I'll collectively make 10K. And now I'm like, maybe collectively within the next few months, I'll make like, God knows, 50, 60. Like,
Yeah.
it's literally just, my business is exponentially growing at this point. Like, within 1 month, I've hired 2 assistants, hiring a closer, hiring an assistant coach. It's just like the growth is exponential at this point. So it's like there's no cap on how much money I can make now.
So before we get into like, well, I appreciate all of the gassing up. Before we get into like how we're going to solidify you to get to a recurring 50K per fucking month business in literally less than a year at this point.
Yeah.
Can you talk about how much mindset growth and maturity you've had, and not only as a business owner, but even as a woman, to even your own like independence, and like how much now you actually give yourself a fucking pat on the back? We should have probably brought cookies for this video.
I know, seriously. Well, we had a lot of ice cream last night.
I buy her so much fucking sweets.
He knows what my main motivator is.
Yeah, I just give her fucking sweets all the time.
And then I work hard. So, yeah, there's definitely been a lot of mindset shifts to happen throughout this. One thing I will say is I think I've finally embraced the fact that I can create the life that I want for myself. If I'm being totally for real, since the time I was young, I've always been one to be like, I just want to marry someone rich and I don't want to have to work. And no, literally. And I was like born to be a housewife. Like, that's what, like, I can cook, I can clean. Like, that's what I want to do. And it also went back to the fact that I never believed that I could make money for myself, like, ever. Before I tried fitness coaching, I was always just like working in restaurants, doing different odds and ends jobs. Like, I never believed that I could make money for myself. And then I finally found the hobby that I loved, the career, like what I genuinely wanted to do, fitness coaching, my passion, and I couldn't make a dime off of it. And so that was really debilitating too, that I was just genuinely in the mindset of like, I will never be able to create the life that I want to live for myself ever. Like, I genuinely believed that. And now here I am after a couple months of working with you. And I'm like, I could literally, I can have however much money I want to make, I can make. Like, I know that that's possible for me now. Like, I can be the freaking sugar daddy. Like,
sugar mommy.
Well, you know.
Now you don't have a dong dong. Unless you're keeping a secret now.
Please, the freaking spandex I wear in all my videos, we'd know by now.
I don't know.
But so seriously, like, just in the mindset now of where I'm like, I know that I can make as much money as I want to make, and there's just like no limitation to that. Like, I can truly be independent in my life and my business. And so that is a crazy breakthrough that I've had. And that's honestly one of the things that just keeps me going in the business. But it was also reaching the mindset of you have to do the hard things, like to make as much money as I want to make or to have the business I want to have. It's going to require putting in the work. And I think so many people can come into this and just expect, like, you know, I'm paying this guy, so it's just going to be easy. And trust me, it's something that you can't do alone. He makes it a lot easier for you, but there's still work that's required. There's still work that has to go into it. And it doesn't matter who you invest in. You can't just pay someone and then just sit back and do absolutely nothing and expect your business to grow. And so with him, I've probably worked harder than I ever have in my life, but it's easy to work harder when it's actually fruitful. like when you're seeing the results and when you know that you're moving in the right direction. Because when I first started with a couple other mentors, like I was working really, really hard. I felt like I was digging myself into the ground, but I just wasn't doing the right things. I wasn't putting my focus in the right place. So to actually come here and have them be like, this is what we need to focus on, this is what we need to do, and then actually putting the effort into that, now here we are. Now we're balling.
Now we balling.
Now we ball.
I should have gone those wads of dollar bills for this.
No, literally. We work a little so we can ball a lot.
Should make it rain.
Yeah.
It's fake money, unfortunately. We keep the real dough in the bank account.
Yeah, we do.
All right. So like now, how do you like, what do you want to like get to? I keep saying 50K a month, but obviously we might as well just say $1 million a month.
I mean, that's a hard question. And we were talking about this last night, and you're like, genuinely, like, how big do you want the business to get? Where do you want it to go? And honest answer is, I don't know. Because truly, when I first came to him a couple months ago, I was like, I just want to get consistent 5K months. That's all I want. I just want to get consistent 5K months. And then I hit my first 10K month, and then we're just like, okay, well now I just want to get to, and so it's just like, I feel like it's one of those things that it's just going to keep building upon itself, that it's going to be like, well, I accomplished that. So like, what else can I accomplish? And it's not even just about the dollars in my bank account, but seeing now like my clientele grow, my roster grow, like now having a group chat of all my clients that is over 60 women is like, I look at that and I'm just like my heart is so full. I'm like, I'm touching so many lives. I'm meeting so many people. And so it's hard to want that to stop. Like, I don't know that there's necessarily a cap on it in my mind. Like, for sure, next goal, like 50K months, like, let's go. Absolutely, let's go. But I mean, let's be real. We're going to knock that out of the park. And then it's going to be like, what's next? Yeah. And that's the thing too, is like, I have so much faith. I have so much confidence in how quickly I'm going to get to that. That it's just like, I don't know. But one thing you actually said to me yesterday that I loved when we were kind of having this conversation is you were like, don't just, like, sometimes you don't have to set the goals. You just have to keep working hard, and then like the goals will come. Like, they'll come to you almost. And so that's kind of the mindset I'm in now, where I'm like, just don't let off the gas. Just keep doing literally whatever you tell me to do. And the goals are just going to come to me. Like, I'm just going to keep growing. So that's kind of the mindset I'm in now. Like, I don't know how big I want to get, because there's just like, there ain't no roof on this house.
So before now we get into like what we're actually going to do for your business. So all the broke people that just want to keep watching and not just take action. Yes, I poked. What do you feel like was the biggest driver? I know you said a bunch of things, but like, what do you think was the biggest driver that changed of like how I taught you to present yourself online?
Authority. Absolutely. Having authority in your content. I remember one thing he told me initially was, stop posting what you want to post and post what needs to be posted. And I think, because we all think that our followers are following us because they care about us. And I remember one thing he told me off rip is he was like, your followers don't give a fuck about you. And I was like, yes, they do. No, they don't. They literally don't care about me, but that's fine, because I'm not an influencer and I don't want to be an influencer. I want to be a fitness coach. So my followers, they don't care about my outfit of the day. They don't care about, this is what I do every day. Wake up with me. Like, that's not valuable. Nobody cares. Literally, no, I don't care what you're trying to sell. Like, nobody cares. He was like, you have to have authority in your content. You have to give value, give people give away all of your resources for free. And then people will want to pay you for more. So like, every single piece of content I put out now is like, how can I help people? My ideal clientele, what do they need to know? What can I give them for free? Free exercise tutorials, free workout split, free, this is what I eat in a day to lose this. This is how to calculate your own macros. Like giving away all of this stuff for free, showing that I know what I'm talking about. I have the authority to give you this information. And you think that by giving away stuff for free, you're like, well, if I'm giving away all this stuff for free, then people are never going to want to pay me. No, we're both living proof that that is not true. You give away a lot of free value on your Instagram. The problem, I watched your reels for months, almost a year maybe, never implemented a damn thing. Do you remember? Hold on. Okay. I remember when literally week 1 of coming to you, I think it was on my onboarding call. You were looking at my Instagram profile and you were like, why does your Instagram profile look like shit? And I was like, what do you mean? And he was like, well, you need to change this, this, and this. And I was like, oh yeah, I remember you posted a reel about that a few weeks ago. And he dead ass looks at me and he was like, if I posted a reel on that, why did you not implement anything that I talked about in the reel? And I was like, well, I just didn't think that it was that important. Like, I just didn't think it's the same thing. Half of the free value that you're going to give away in your content, nobody's going to implement on their own. They need someone to hold them accountable to actually doing it. I needed you to hold me accountable to actually doing the stuff. So yeah, have authority in your content, give away free value in your content, and people will turn around and come to you and be like, wait, can I pay you to help me do that though? Because let's be real, can't really do it on your own. Even if I were to go through every single Instagram reel you've ever posted and implement all the stuff, it still would not be, I feel like, nearly as effective as this. You know what I mean? It can't be.
No, it never works.
It doesn't work.
It's too much of a puzzle game.
It's too much of a puzzle game. It's too much of like, okay, but what do I do when and how exactly do I do this and how, like, stuff that I don't want to have to think about or figure out. I don't have time to think about or figure out on my own because I'm a freaking business owner. So you just tell me what to do when I do it.
Can you, like, last thing, can you say to the other business owners that don't act like business owners, because clearly they're watching this video, and whether they're making 7 figures, right? Because probably they're either an influencer that went viral for the wrong video, so they have the audience, but it's less authority,
right?
Or they're running ads, so their profit margins suck fucking dick.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Can you explain why their content actually fucking sucks? It's not the authority, but what they're not willing to do. And we talked about this, about how, like, some clients, they, not clients, but people in general, even my own fucking clients, they're too fucking lazy.
Yeah.
So you want to, like, share about how, like, when I made you actually go put in some fucking effort in these videos?
So one thing I will, like he said, it is, you have to really break out of the mindset of laziness and just doing the bare minimum in order to get by. I mean, I remember him telling me, like, when you add value, it can't always just be value that you know or value from your own mind, because in order to, how I've built trust with people is I include research. Like, I do research and I put that value. I even, like, cite sources sometimes and put it in my content. And again, that's one of the things where people get on a call with me and they're just like, well, obviously you do your research because it's in your content. Obviously you know what you're talking about. And I knew before, but I didn't present things in a way that was, like, truly like, yeah, I know what I'm talking about. So there's more that goes into it than just, like, opening up your front camera and just talking and being like, oh, blah, blah, blah. Like, no, like, do your research, add value, figure out what else is working. Like, it's just so many people want to come in and do the bare minimum. And, like, it's just not going to work. Like, I've put so much effort into my content, so much research into my content, into the value, and so much, like, genuinely scripting it. Like, I'm not just getting behind the camera and just saying what's on my mind. I'm actually scripting it in a format that he's taught me that is effective for capturing people's attention, keeping their attention, and then getting them to follow you afterwards. And that doesn't just come by just talking to the freaking camera. That comes by actually taking the time to do your research and script things out.
And show, not tell.
Yeah. Yeah.
A lot of people just want to sit there like an influencer and yap versus like visually showcase everything.
Oh my gosh, my video. If you've seen my page, my video is visually showcasing. I'm doing everything. I mean, 90% of the world is probably freaking visual learners, or like our attention span these days is so short that if you're just sitting behind the camera talking to someone, like they're not still going to be there even 60 seconds later. Like, I'm surprised that we're not standing up and running laps around the chairs as we're doing this. You know?
Well, this video is for the people that actually want to grow.
The people that care.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like, as far as like how to grow her business to 50K per month organically and profitably, what we've been doing is like focusing on like, how do we not let the gas be let off through the content? Because what a lot of people don't realize is that when you're running ads as a 7 or 8 figure business, it's crazy when people don't realize that organic content is just you finding a way to crack the code for it to have more reach. Whereas ads, you're just basically putting money behind it to have the reach. Therefore, that's why ads work. But the problem with ads is that if you're fucking broke, you're fucking broke. Yeah.
Wait, I want to talk about why, when I was running ads, why they weren't effective though.
Let's hear it.
Because, and I was doing like boosted posts too. So the goal being like, after someone sees the boosted post, you can click on the little button on Instagram that's like, take me to their profile. Well, I had finally found a couple boosted posts that were reaching. I was getting views. I was getting people to come to my page, profile visits, blah, blah, blah. Could not convert it into followers, could not convert it into dollars, could not convert it into calls. It was going nowhere, but I just kept pushing money on it because I'm like, well, I'm getting profile views. Like eventually, like it'll come. That's the problem with ads, is that if you don't have valuable content on your page in the first place, people are going to look at your ad, think that's fire, that's what I need. Click the button, visit your profile, see all of the garbage content on your profile, and be like, just kidding, that's not what I want, and leave. And that's what was happening to me. So even if you still want to run ads, imagine how much more effective your ads are actually going to be when people visit your profile and then there's just eons of more valuable content that they're just diving into. And that's one of the reasons why I think so many people, I would literally like challenge all of you, like go find some of your favorite like influencers or people who you follow that have a ton of followers and go see what their actual view counts are on their reels. Because I see people out there all the time who have hundreds of thousands of followers, millions of followers, and then you look at like how many views they're getting on their reels and it's like 5K, 6K, less 10K. And you're like, wait, that doesn't add up. Why do they have so many followers and their view count is so low? That's because either they had one viral video that like popped off, or like they let off the gas and stopped leaning into what was working for them. And so that, I assume this is part of where you're going with like how we're going to get me to 50K months, but not letting off the gas in a sense that we have finally figured out what works on my page. And so what do? We lean into that. We keep doing more of that. And so if you go and look at my page, I have, almost 200K followers, and every single video I post blows up. I'm not kidding. That's not even me tooting my own horn. Every single video I post gets at least 75K views. And that is on the low end right now. Yeah. And that just speaks volumes as to like, we found out what works. I'm leaning into what works. I'm giving the audience what they want and what they followed me for in the first place. So I feel like I just kind of went off on a tangent.
No, that's perfect. And then so the other thing is that when you don't let off the gas and you're creating content regularly, obviously you don't need the ad spend depending on where you're at in your business. Obviously this doesn't apply to people who are trying to make 100K plus regularly, that you have to run ads, but profit margins will fucking suffer when the ads are not complemented with good organic content.
Right.
But for getting you to 50K months, even organically, is completely doable. However, how are we doing that beyond just fucking content? Well, like how you brought up earlier about finding an appointment setter, finding a closer, finding assistant coaches to actually delegate. What's hilarious is this non-business coach somehow understands you don't make those hires until you start seeing the lead flow. Because at the end of the day, a lot of business owners think, well, if I run ads, I just go get a fucking closer, and you have a good closer to use sleazy sales tactics and cold, sales skills to get the prospect to get on the call, and you close them. And then that's how you either get chargebacks or lack of trust. Whereas with our case, and a lot of my other clients' cases that are killing it, your content is so valuable that you rarely have chargebacks as long as you fulfill correctly. And so people already trust you. They're not going to fuck up.
Yeah.
And so then what's going to happen is, because you're consistently posting content, what happens? Your retention also subconsciously increases because people start seeing you haven't let off the gas.
Yeah.
You're still there posting content. And then that way your clients now can still keep consuming your content on top of also getting the actual one-on-one service that they paid for.
Yeah.
Once you put all of that together, your setter and closer have an easier time to close the fucking person.
Absolutely. That's one thing I found too, is my sales calls. I always thought that I had a problem with sales. And to be fair, I'm not the best salesperson in the world, but I was convinced for so many months that like my problem is sales. Before I met him, I was like, my problem is sales. My problem is sales. I could not close people to save my life. And then I found out my problem isn't sales. My problem is content. People are getting on a call with me, but because I'm not building authority in my content, because I'm not adding value in my content, they're getting on the phone with me and like they don't really trust me. They're just getting on the phone with some girl who looks pretty young, who claims to know things about fitness, but like they're still sitting on the other end of the phone. Like, does she actually know what she's talking about? Versus when I came to you in 2 months, my closing rate on my calls went from 20% to 80%, which is insane because my sales calls just got easier. I didn't get better at sales. My prospects became easier to close because my content was selling them already. They were coming to me wanting to buy what I was selling already. I didn't have to convince them. My content convinced them.
Exactly. And so the key to her getting to 50K per month organically and profitably, similarly to why I generate 100 to 200K per month organically, profitably, is because the content speaks and sells for itself. And so to wrap this all up, and it's funny because they'll probably be like, this motherfucker just get kept about how to get her to 50K. All he's like, fucking say is post content 6 times a week. Yes. But then again, it's working, isn't it?
And it's not gatekeeping, right? We just gave you a ton of freaking valuable information. It's just like, I don't know. I literally couldn't have done it without you genuinely. Cause and don't let your head get too big.
I thought you were just going to start crying.
I'm not gonna cry for you. Okay.
Oh, that's a little disappointing. We need to sell this with a hook.
Okay, wait, give me a second. I'm just kidding. But it's just, I don't know. I mean, I've directed so many people your way because I have so many other fitness coaches in my realm who were struggling just like I was struggling, or even not just fitness coaches, like other people who just have their own businesses and are struggling to grow. And I point all of them your direction because I want other people to succeed the way that I'm succeeding. And in my eyes, like, you're just like, that's the answer. I'm like, I can't really help you. Like, people are reaching out to me now that they're seeing my Instagram and my success and everything. And they're like, how'd you do it? How'd you do it? How'd you do it? And I'm like, just go over here. Like, I don't, just like go, just go over there.
give me
Like,
your
he'll
money.
tell you what, I don't know. Just like, he'll tell you what to do. So
to wrap this up, can you talk to the millionaires watching this video running ads? Because I want them to get their fucking head out of their ass. What do you say as a upcoming fucking millionaire at this rate?
that's right.
And look at the conviction, the confidence. That's where it comes from. What can you say to those people running ads? Those people that have fucking basically 50% margins or even less.
Yeah.
What can you take out of being basically an up and coming 6-figure to 7-figure earner at this rate
Yeah.
within less than 6 months?
Stop throwing spaghetti at the wall, as you would say. But more seriously, it's just like I talked about when I first came to him. It only made psychological sense. Either I could continue to fulfill the definition of insanity, which is like keep doing what you're doing and expect a different result, or I could take that money that I was already investing in something that wasn't working and put it into something else that really had the potential to work. And obviously has proven to me, obviously, nothing's proven to you yet. You haven't invested, but like proven to me 10 times over that like I just made the best investment of my life. Like I just took my money from something that literally made no sense, wasn't working, but I was like, just pour more money at it. Just let more people see it. Just let, like, I don't know, as a business owner, how can you not have the mindset of you have to continue to invest in yourself and invest in your business in order to grow? You have to spend money to make money, but like, are you actually spending money on the right things? Because I wasn't. Therefore, I was throwing spaghetti at the wall. I was just doing the wrong things. I was wasting my money. So like, it just gets to the point that if you're a freaking millionaire business owner, I would hope that you're smarter than that. If I'm smarter, I'm sorry. Like, not trying to offend anyone, but that's crazy. If the brokey fitness coach hobby girl knew where to put her money and you don't, that's wild.
Shots fired.
I mean, what can I say?
Well, I appreciate everything.
You're welcome. No, I appreciate everything. Like, damn.
So what do you think the people should do in the description box?
I would say y'all should comment Onyx.
Actually, they need to click the link in the bio.
Oh, it's always comment Onyx. Come on, you set me up to fail. That's crazy. That's crazy.
I knew you were going to say that.
Now I'm crying. My dog, what? Oh my gosh.
So,
I think.
So what should
I'm ready now. Like, there ain't no way you just did that to me.
I did. This whole video is going raw.
Oh my gosh.
This is the only thing we're gonna cut in the video. I'm gonna tell you the answer. They need to go in this description box, book a call with me, and just give me their damn credit card.
Heard. Okay. The more you know.
So, redemption, what should they do?
Go in the description below, book a call, and just give him your credit card. Just do it.
Just give me all your money.
I gave him all mine.
That was good.